Finally getting around to starting some projects. I still got fatigue and bad brain fog since the COVID, and I guess I'm just going to have to learn to live with that. But this is a project that my wife has wanted for a while, and she's wanted some balances for her bedroom. So first thing I did, as I always do, is I got out a little script piece of paper and kind of scribbled a little picture of what I want to do. Grabbed some cardboard and started cutting, and just made a little template of it, like for my wife to see and approve. And I need some changes, and I had to drop some radiuses and stuff, but kind of gave her an idea of what I was doing, because she sometimes has a hard time visualizing things. But that's it. There's going to be three of them in here, one over each window in her bedroom, and there will be a little shelf on top of them also. Now, her favorite flowers are daisies, as you can see by this thing hanging on the wall here, and that's what she kind of wanted me to incorporate in it, but I went in a different direction. I'll show you in a little while. So first thing I did is I drew up that cardboard piece and decided I was going to make a template on the CNC router to use to just copy them all from. And this actually is the easiest way to do anything for me, but it's always nice to have a good template when you're starting out if you're making multiple parts. So this time I'm trying out doing plywood, but I'm trying out a Emana down cut spiral cutter, and actually that works really good on the plywood, I'm finding out, and doesn't do any tear out on the top or anything. So you can see I'm using up just about the full travel of the machine I built there. I wish I had built the bigger one, but this is where it is. So I got those couple of openings cut out there, and now it's time to go back and start cutting the outline. But one thing I forgot to do is I kind of got the cuts in the wrong sequence, and there is a cutout in the middle that has to be put in. So I've got to move the clamps once this gets cut out quickly. And there you can see I had to swap the clamps out so I could put that one in. But in the end, everything, it does come out perfect, and it's real easy to mirror things and make things symmetrical and stuff using the router. You can make templates by hand also. Anything will work with the router to duplicate things later. So after a couple minutes, I think this took 6 minutes to cut out. I had my template to start with, and to get some good measurements for the inserts and stuff like that, and kind of get an idea of what I was doing with them. Oh, there it is. Real simple design, and I'm just going to put 3 inserts in them, and the 2 outside ones I did wind up using a old honeybee comb and honeycomb pattern that I had done a couple of years ago when I first got my Cameo 3. I just took that and I expanded it and kind of duplicated it and blended a couple of them together. And then here I am over on this X-Tool D1 laser, and I will tell you, this is my favorite laser. This thing is just so easy to use, and it just never any problems with it. It just works perfect every time. And there it is, light burn I'm using, and that's the artwork that I put together. Now this is the one for the left hand side panels, and here I am doing another panel, just just engraving them and then cutting them out. I'm doing 3 of them because I'm making 3 matching balances here, and it just makes it real easy to duplicate it, and they all come out perfect. And then I'll do the last one on that side, and then move on to I flipped the actual artwork, and I'm doing the opposite hand ones now so that they're a mirror image. And again, this these lasers really do add a lot of capabilities to a shop. Really a great tool to have in the shop, I'm finding out. I've really enjoyed this X-Tool one the most of any of them, I will say. And then I smelled something upstairs cooking. I had to go up and check it out, and my wife just made some butternut yeast bread, and oh my god, that was good. I'll have to do a video about that someday. And then I just I found a nice picture of a sunflower online that I decided to do some modifications to and engrave. And my wife wanted daisies in her Valences, but I'm giving her sunflowers. And actually, I just did a sample one there to show her, and she was happy with it in the end. And then one of them's going to get a clock face inserted in it. I'm just going to put a little tiny clock movement in it. So that one will be the oddball one on the side wall. So I did locate a clock face online and, kind of manipulate it a little bit and cut it. And then this is the sunflower once I got the final settings right and everything. And these are going to be the inserts for the center of each of the Valences. And again, these lasers, you can see just how nice they work and how easy they are. And, if you're working with up to 6mm wood, you can cut it out with them too. So you can finish the whole job right up there without touching it. Then it was time to go out in the barn and dig out some wood. Now, this was kind of exhausting to me. I just sort of had the cherry I wanted on the bottom of that pile there. Actually, there's more in the bottom of that pile, but there's about 2,500 pounds of wood to move, so I didn't want to move that one. But I did move a bunch of wood, and I picked out some pieces of cherry. Now, these are going to be the Valence pieces here. You can see it's, really beautiful wood. And I think this was the cherry that I cut from that log load that I got a couple of years ago. Here's some of the stuff I had to move to get at it, but, it wasn't too bad. And then these pieces are pretty heavy and big, so I just brought the little 20-volt saw down and cut it to the size pieces that I really needed for, doing the Valences. And then just stacked everything back up. And I do have an awful lot of short walnut I've got to figure out what to do with. I hate to cut it up for firewood, but, it's not really good for any big projects. But hopefully I'll take some time and make some little planks out of it at least. Now it's up to the shop and time to take some of that live edge off these pieces that I brought up. I try to save the live edge wherever I can because some people like it, and it doesn't always work out in projects. So this is where my track saw that I bought really does come in handy. And that bench really is great for working and holding things and stuff. I'm finding out that's like one of the best things I ever built. It's just nice to have good work surface where you can clamp stuff to and nice and flat. So I just got the track saw track down, and I did just pick up some Bessie clamps that work with the track saw track, and I'm trying them out now, and been trying for a while before I do a video about them and just see how they work out, but looks like they're gonna work. And this saw is really nice if you don't put the clamp in the wrong place. Here I am just trying to figure that out, and turned out I had that clamp right where the saw was going, so just had to turn it a little bit. But yeah, this track saw really is handy when you work with rough cut lumber. It's not perfectly straight. I can take and straighten out like a 10 foot straight, piece, just about glue line straight. So it really does do a good job. And again, just, one piece after the next, I'm going to go through and just do away with that live edge and get rid of some of the white wood on the edge. And I will say that, this Makita track saw is something I definitely would recommend. No problems with it yet, and it really does work good. And you can see you get like a glue line edge with it. Then it's time to just go over and rip them to the width that I need on the table saw. And I do have a lot of chunks. I'll cut that up to be smoking wood for my grill. And then I dragged out my my router sled that I built a couple years ago. I said, okay, originally I was going to flatten these slabs on the CNC router. I said, nope, I'm going to show people I can still do it by hand. And I can. The one thing I forgot, though, is when I flattened the wasteboard on my CNC router, I actually used my good slab flattening bit, and that MDF had the tendency to really dull any type of carbide quick if you don't have the right carbide. So, as you can see, I'm kind of fighting along with this slowly because the the bit's actually pretty dull right now. Still have to figure out if there's a way to get these things sharpened or not. It's one of those big weight side bits. But I'll just take my time and go slow. And you can see this router still does the job, or the flattening jig still does the job, and it works good. And I am just using the little Bosch router here too, but it gets it done. So there's the first one flattened up, and I just ran it through the planer to get the other side parallel, and then over to the bandsaw. I've decided I'm trying to get a little bit over 1/2 inch thick pieces for the Valence, and decided I just resaw this because this was 1.5 inches to start out. So I just took it over to the bandsaw, and I figured I'd just quickly cut it in half, and that'll be it. Well, that just didn't go so good. It looked like it was going good. Actually, I didn't turn on the dust collection, so there's dust and smoke coming out everywhere. But what happened was I started cutting it, and the top looks good, the guides are good, and everything else. But I'll show you in a little while. These Laguna guides I hate. The bottom guides actually. After I got right about there, the bottom guide started to loosen up, and I didn't really realize it. Started sounding funny and cutting funny and stuff, but I just figured out I'll just pull it out and swap it around and try cutting from the other side, and see if it makes a difference. So I got that board cut halfway through. Everything looked pretty good. Everything was going good. I figured, okay, I'll just flip it over and do the other side. But what I didn't realize is that the thumb screws on the bottom ceramic guide had come loose, and top of the blade looks good and it's cutting straight, but the bottom of the blade actually just went crazy. And this is a common problem I've had with this saw. The guides just really suck. I hate them because they're just held in place with a thumb screw, and they do have a tendency to loosen up every once in a while. And there you can see you can't even get in there to tighten them, and no, they should have like a good head on them. I'm going to look into a set of Carter guides for this. Maybe I can fix it. But in the meantime, I destroyed that piece of wood, so I broke it up, and let's move on, and I'll just grab some more. I had to go out and grab another piece. And it's funny, you can like resaw a walnut all day on that saw and the guides won't move, but put some oak or ash or cherry or maple on there, and I can't keep the guides locked in place. They move every time, so I guess it's just just the way it is. Anyhow, back over to the jig. I got some more wood out, and I got 3 pieces now. I'm going to go back and flatten. I decided I'll just plane the extra 1/2 inch off and make chips, because it's not worth trying to resaw again. So, this does make a mess, and I should really have done it on the CNC router like I originally was gonna, but hey, I wanted to, to show people that you can do this either way. So, next time, it will be on the router, but this does work too. So right here, I decided I'm just going to stop for now. Video's getting long, and you can kind of see where I'm headed here now, and the start of these things and how they're going to go together with inserts and clocks and stuff. And, I will finish them up in the next video, because that's probably going to be another 15-minute video by the time I get done. So, I just wanted to show you one more time how I start, think through jobs like this and stuff, and how I usually like to start with pieces of cardboard. I do have a giant supply of it, and work it out on cardboard first before I commit to wood, and give my wife an idea of what she's going to get. And, having all this rough cut wood does really make it easier, but you do have to go out and dig it out because of my poor storage for it. But anyhow, that bread is really excellent, and I definitely will make a video next time that she does make it. I've got a whole bunch of recipes now saved up, but I just haven't really felt like I had the concentration to make too many videos lately. COVID is a terrible virus. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.